save point. How are you doing? I beat the Hollow Knight the other day, yesterday. I reached the true ending. Now this is going to contain spoilers for Hollow Knight, so if you didn't play it yet, please play it first. It's quite a good game. It does deserve its fame. So, I'm just going to give a bit of like my thoughts about the game overall. I took a few notes very quickly. I really like Hollow Knight. It's really impressive what a small team of people was able to achieve with passion and hard work and just being good game makers. First of all, okay, Hollow Knight, right? It came out in 2017, I think. Yeah, it feels really good. Like the gameplay, like I wrote it's smooth and pleasant, and that is true. That's something that you notice when you start playing the game. Controlling your character does feel tight. You grasp the controls very quickly. Fighting is very fair. If you make a mistake, it is on you. It's not going to be because of the game. At least that's what I noticed. I didn't find anything I could blame the game for when I failed at a boss fight. It was because of me and not because the game just trolled me. Also, something that surprised me was a big reliance on platforming. Here's the thing. Platforming, I think at this point, works really well in the game. I was surprised. I didn't know how much platforming there would be. Again, it's a 2D game, but I have not played a lot of Metroidvanias. I've played Super Metroid, so in a way, there were platforming in that game too. For Hollow Knight, I did not expect there to be so much platforming, but there was. And just like the combat, it felt fair and tight. It felt good to control the knight, the character, through the jumping sections. Especially since as you progress through the game, you gain more ability that deepens the mechanics of the platforming, creating more complex scenarios. And there's even a place in the game that's really going to be just jumping and no combat, and really push everything that you can do in that aspect of the game and make you master the movements of your character. I think I really enjoyed actually platforming. It's tight and challenging. Also, a big point about this game is the exploration. Now, the exploration was wonderful, and is still wonderful. I'm still playing the game right now, the post-game per se, trying to get the free content. There's secrets everywhere. There's lots of breakable walls that can lead to whole new areas. And that surprised the heck out of me. Like, I explored as much as I could in the game. I have a 99% completion rate right now. I really tried to find every single secrets, and there's still stuff I didn't find. Whole areas. I thought I explored the entirety of the map at one point before I fought the final boss, and then I found a breakable wall because I saw so there seems to be a room with an item. How do I get there? And I looked around, broke a wall, whole new area, and this area also branched out to new areas. If you know what you're doing, you can discover that there's optional paths to get to different biomes, so you can plan different routes if you're a speedrunner. And that's really cool. If there was a randomizer mode, and I feel like that would take advantage of this really well. I assume that's why people like Super Metroid Randomizer. Being able to master the environment and discover the different routes and then make use of them on the fly, come up with solutions. That sounds really exciting. But just discovering these places that also act as shortcuts, to quickly go from places to the others, unlocking some transportation, some like quick fast travels. You can't fast travel from your menu, so you need to go to stations. I really liked it. Things like everything has personality in this game. Every character in this world is goddamn unique. I was so amazed. Every character is imbued with a personality. Is likable in some way. I don't know how they did it, but you kind of grow attached to the characters. Even if they have a simple role or just a few lines of dialogue, because you pass through the areas again and again. Sometimes the NPCs in the world will have changed places or unlocked new dialogue. Their story continues and their fate gets resolved as you progress through the game. What happens to them? It can be sad or happy or bittersweet. Most often than not, during my playthrough, I discovered that things were quite bittersweet. Most of the characters move on, They accomplish their purpose, so they die proudly, or disappear, or gone. But there's quite a few that just reside. There's a few that reside in the main town, the starting town. Go back there, and you helped them accomplish their dream too. Like the merchant. You gave him a lot of money. So that's a part that was really cool about the merchant. That when you discover through encountering the nail masters, right? They teach you their weapon techniques. Then you go back to the merchant and you discover that he is their master, and he's so unassuming. He's a small bug. But truthfully, he's a master swordsman, nail master. That blew my mind, to be honest. I really enjoyed it. I really grew attached to the characters, and I really like Hornet. Now you see Hornet so little in the game. It's one of the characters that is essential to the story. Hornet helps you if you accomplish everything. She helps you at the final boss. If you didn't do anything, she wouldn't be there, but now she is there. And I want to see more of her. I want to discover more what her story is. And you know what I think? I think I still have story content to discover about her. I don't know who she is yet. Is she still just another bug? She is the protector of Hallownest. But can I discover more about her? Every bug that you discuss you seem to understand a bit what they are, where they came from in a way. But not Hornet. What is she doing in Hallownest? No, I think that's probably part of the free content. Maybe there's more story there. I need to find it through breaking walls and discovering new areas. But I thought that was really cool. Every character has a unique design. No NPC design is reused per se, well, except one, because the miner, right, that sings and turns, becomes infected with the plague. Yeah, she looks just like the other miners, sadly. But it makes sense, I think. That didn't annoy me at all. I perfectly understood. I even liked it, through seeing the other miners that were infected, you thought, what's different about this one? Oh, well, nothing apparently. The plague just took its time to take hold of her. But also in the spirit glade, all these spirits have such awesome designs, and they don't do much but give you some pieces of lore about themselves and the world. I wonder if these NPC appearances were potential NPCs that they would have populated the world with, but they reused in the Spirit Glade. That's entirely possible, I think. It was really good. But yeah, as I said, like, the world is really interesting. It's a world of bugs. I've never seen a game that would put bugs on the front lines. But it's not disgusting. Of course, everything is hand-drawn, beautiful and stylized. They're not ambidextrous, but how do you say? Well, they're humanized. You know, a humanized bug population. It's really cool. It also helps create some very beautiful environments, subterranean environments. Yeah, the multiple path, and yeah, the bug kingdom. That's really cool. But as I said, like the visuals, the visuals are very pretty. Everything is hand-drawn in such a coherent way. Nothing feels out of place. Every biome has a unique appearance and gimmick and layout, and it is just very nice. Color schemes as well. Hollow Knight is maybe one of the, I would say prettiest in a way, prettiest indie games that I've played in recent memories, because it has such a distinct style. There's nothing quite like it except Silksong nowadays, due to the artist's style who drew this world and characters. Thick outlines, tons of details in the environment, parallaxes. That's what I noticed too. The environment is not just a 2D picture, it's layered. There's one background, and behind that there's another background. You see an opening in the cavern, there's even more in the distance, but it's more blurred up. There's so much beauty in this world and environment. Every scene could be a beautiful wallpaper. That's what I think, at least. If there was an art book to get, I think Hollow Knight would be one. The music was interesting because it was nice and atmospheric. I think, you know how Minecraft relies on these recognizable melodies, right? There's a simplicity but a beauty to the music. I think Hollow Knight kind of shares the same thing. You will pass through these environments a lot, and each one has a different music. The bosses too have some music that are different. It fits very well the vibe of the game, the loneliness, a dead kingdom. A kingdom stuck in time, in the middle of being infected by a radiant plague. And the music shows you this solemnity, this melancholy, this sadness. I think this was really cool. Also, well, when there is action, the music does pump up, while still retaining the Hollow Knight-ness, right? This simple but effective composition. At least that's what I think right now. I'm trying to recall the music. But that's like when I think about the music, I think about the Dirtmouth town music, like dun 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 dun. It's very effective. I liked it a lot. Also, there's some places that, of course, don't have music, and when there's no music, you feel there's a lot of tension. That's the part of deepness, probably the darkest part of the game. No music, just creepy crawly sounds in the walls. That was very, very creepy. The sound effects are really well done in this game, I think. There's a beautiful sound design to it. sometimes, recalling some sections, there's some echo. You hit with your sword and there will be an echo in the distance because you're in a cavern. It works wonderfully well. And as I said, in Deepness, you have these creepy crawlies. If you go all the way down the map, the abyss, there's an atmosphere to it, a sort of oppressing, strong, thick atmosphere in the sound. It's well done. Now the visual music and sound effects work really well together, and gameplay. That's what I think, at least. I think the story-wise, it's a bit the same as a Souls game. It's shown, it's not told, it's environmental. Do you understand what I mean? It's all told through looking at the environments, at the hints. There's some stones that give you a glimpse, a hint. You have to piece things together yourself. What happened to Hollow Nest? Who are the people still inhabiting it? Why are all the creatures in there hostile? What really is behind the catastrophe, the horror that happened to Hollow Nest? This beautiful, frankly, this sprawling and thriving kingdom. Is there anything outside of this kingdom? These are answers that can be answered through paying attention. And I think it's really cool. I really like this. It doesn't bog you down in exposition. You can make your own theories. You can construct a mind map, stick the elements together, what fits. People on YouTube, I'm sure, have made tons and tons of lore explanation videos of Hollow Knight, and they must have gotten a lot of views, I think. So I really enjoyed it. It's a bit like, it doesn't forget it's a video game by putting the gameplay first, and player choice and freedom. You can visit areas early, maybe not do everything there, but visit it early before you're able to traverse further. And there's still a story that is in the background, but still very present, that dictates your actions. It's cool. It's a really cool universe, Hollow Knight. They did well here at the Cherry team. Now for the endings, the endings they're interesting. Interesting endings. If you just follow the markers, right, you will arrive at the vessel ending. You beat the Hollow Knight and you start to contain the plague within yourself. You take the place of the Hollow Knight and get chained up, and Hollow Nest stays in the same state it was for countless ages. But here's the fun part. I'm convinced the game hints at you that there is more. Through, again, the environment, if you search and read, you can discover things. The light, whatever it is, the light, the white beings, the higher beings. What are they? What are you? The night. And the title screen changes once you beat the first ending. A pulsing heartbeat of infection. You didn't get rid of it. It is still there. Go back in the game. Check your percentage completed. You need to do more. Then you will do more. You will discover even more areas. Like the White Palace, probably my favorite place in the game. Insane jumping puzzles. Insane. I loved it. Probably the place I had the most trouble at, next to the trial of force in the Colosseum. That was something. Oh, that was something. And then you can explore more and get this special charm. And then you go back to the abyss, discover who you are. And that's when you can get the true ending, with the true final boss. That was so fucking cool, by the way. You want to know why this was fucking cool? Let me hear. When you do complete everything you can do, or close to everything, you go back to the final boss area. Hornet is there. She's not there if you don't do that. And at one point, towards the end of the fight, she will help you by opening the way to the Hollow Knight's mind, the dreams, and using your dream nail, which is another element I didn't include in this slide review yet. You can enter the dream world and fight the source of the infection of this radiant plague, the radiance. You can fight the physical manifestation, the avatar of this higher sickness, a virus, illness, this godly being which destroyed Hollownest. You fight it within the dreams, and oh boy, it's not easy. Tons of things to avoid, not a lot of time to heal. Multiple phases. Now first you fight the Hollow Knight, then you fight the Radiance, part 1, then part 2 where there is no ground anymore. It's tough. And then you can administer the final hit after accomplishing a jumping sequence while dodging projectiles from the final boss. And then you get the true ending, which also gives you the redemption of the Hollow Knight. The Hollow Knight you fought in the first part, who was manipulated at the end by the Radiance, didn't have a choice anymore. You awakened it. You free the Hollow Knight from its puppeteer's state, and then he helps you. And through this, he just opens the final boss up where you can, you yourself, incarnate into your true form. This being of void and godhood, and destroy the Radiance, which I assume frees the kingdom. You kind of see on it at the end, waking up again. Probably reviving, because she did say that this place was very bad for her, probably fatal actually, and she revives, she wakes up, just in time to play Silk Song actually. And that was a pretty good ending. Your character is gone, the mask is broken, the one you wore the whole game. You moved on. Who knows where the knight is? I think that was a great conclusion to the game, to the story built up, to our character, you know? Which our character actually is funny, like, he literally has no voice, it's an empty vessel. But you, the player, through your adventure, you kind of gave it meaning. You kind of give your own soul to the character to reach a point where the knight can break from its predestined destiny and carve his own path in a way. You know, find the strength to tackle the issues at the source. This is really good, I think. A very good, challenging final boss, I think. Sometimes in video games, final bosses can be quite easy compared to like some stuff you can fight in games like a bit optionally. This time the final boss, the Radiance, was kind of a tough cookie, which I really enjoyed. It really felt like a final boss, and I had my weapon fully upgraded, my spells fully upgraded. It took every single one of my focus to beat it. A true achievement, I think. It was wonderful. As I said, my favorite parts, like I had the White Palace. White Palace was a fucking surprise. It was an immense surprise. Not only that, the deepness. I really enjoyed deepness actually. Like the darkness, not seeing a lot of creepy crawlies. I like this. I like horror. That was the most horror part of the whole game. So I really enjoyed it. You know, I expected to be stalked by an enemy in these tight tunnels. I did not. I kind of would have liked that actually, to be stalked by a sort of unbeatable enemy that you fight as the boss of the area. It would have been kind of cool, I think. Especially since it's dark and tight, right? But I can understand why they didn't do that. So the mimic boss was kind of creepy. Like you kind of see a reflection of yourself or something that looks like yourself in the tunnels. That's a fun part actually, because that boss, you don't see it again unless you find a secret area by breaking a wall, and then you find this Nox, something like that, Nox monster, and then you fight it, and it's like disturbingly cracks its body open and all that. It's pretty creepy. Also, I really enjoyed that there's a few bosses you could revisit, and using your dream nail just fight a harder version of them. And I tried so hard and I succeeded. I beat the Soul Tyrant, which is the harder version of the Soul Master, and that one was really difficult. Probably at that point, same level of difficulty for me as the final boss, I think. Took me around the same amount of tries, I think. Like, the more frequent attacks, the more... I don't know if complex patterns is a thing, maybe, just maybe. It was a difficult boss. I really enjoyed being able to, like, directly able to go fight the final boss. Not final boss, but these bosses, a harder version of them, and get rewarded for it with a bunch of like dream points, so to say, that allow you to also get upgrades to your dream nail, unlock abilities like setting up checkpoints to teleport to. That is fucking amazing actually. That's a whole another aspect of this game that's necessary to get the true ending. To get the dream nail and chase all the dreams of Hollow Nest. To strengthen the dream nail, to be able to get the final item you need to unlock the final boss, the true final boss. And along the way, like, it's just so cool. You know, using the dream nail NPCs allows you to uncover their inner monologue, per se, that they're not telling you upright, or find secrets, or areas and all this. It's really well done. I did not expect this game to have such a strong focus on dreams and the dream world, or more like the boundaries between dreams and reality. Where the final boss, true final boss lives, that's the boundary between dreams and reality. A really cool concept actually. So, overall, Hollow Knight, would I call it a masterpiece of indie game? Yeah, absolutely. Like, well, I am not very critical per se of video games. I don't often find a bad side to a video game, except if it's very obvious and in my face, and literally everybody and their grandmother can see that it is an objective flaw. For the most part, I think that a lot of what sometimes makes a game bad to some people is their inability to refuse to adapt to said game. That's what I think, at least subjectively. I will work with the game mechanics to try to get the best out of the game. So I can't call this a bad side, more like a preference. And I can say Hollow Knight, for me, has no bad side. Everything works just really, really well together. Wonderfully well, in fact. It's awesome, amazing, and a true achievement for this indie team of Team Cherry. Now I can't wait to play Silk Song. see what they did with it. Again, some people say that Silk Song is extremely difficult. Good. It's... If you played Hollow Knight, why would it be easy? It's a natural progression to like make the game a bit more difficult even. You know, Hollow Knight is there as the introduction, Silk Song is... What is next? They didn't make the game for everybody, they made their ideal game, as I think as far as I understand. So I'm very curious to see what is going to be there. I'm going to live stream the whole of it when I get to it. From the beginning, I didn't do that with Hollow Knight, I just streamed the end, per se, and then post-game the free content now. Because I just started streaming, but for Silk Song, I'll definitely do it, I think. It's going to be awesome. And I hope that you'll be there for when I do. Alright. Your progress is saved, of course. Now, thank you so much for being here. If you want more save points, there's plenty of them. Plenty of save points. If you want to backtrack to a previous save point, feel free to do it. Maybe there's something that changed. Backtracking sometimes is kind of good. Uncovering secrets. So I'll see you at the previous save point or at the next save point. Cheers.